Hey everybody, this is Marie, Riri for short, and I just want to, I'm so proud of my garden. I don't want to be proud, but the Lord provided. But anyways, this right here is kale. This is kale that can be grown in the summer, and soon this is going to be big bushes, and I'll do another update. But all these little plants right here, looks like little sprouts of grass, is actually corn. I didn't expect it to be that many, but whenever you plant corn, that corn cross-pollinates. There's a little kale that got washed over by the corn, but this is just a big potting plant my mother-in-law gave me. I filled up with just regular soil. Let me get this piece of grass down here. Filled up with just regular soil from my dirt. This is some potting soil that I made myself, and that's my little pepper plant. And I got this little thing around him because it seems to help him out a lot. And I have to give him water and put that around, or else his little leaves will wilt. But anyways, did you know that corn is actually grass? It's related to grass, and it needs high amounts of nitrogen to grow. Grass grows, excuse my yard, we're cleaning it up right now, but grass grows with nitrogen. Anyways, right here I have, this is spearmint. You know what mint is? Look at those little flowers starting to form on there. Isn't it beautiful? But this plant right here, it's fuzzy. And oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells like, it's just amazing, like a minty, let me smell it. I'm going to make my own essential oils with that, and I plan on planting more herbs or herbs, however you say it. This right here is my first time growing potatoes. The leaves are very thick, and they are awesome. And I planted a potato, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's not looking too good. And then 10 right here. And then right there's 11 potato plants. And as this grows up, I'm going to put more dirt. That's why I have all this pile of dirt over here. And pile the dirt on to cover up the potatoes, because the potatoes grow underground and they're actually part of a root system. Now over here, isn't it lovely? I created it myself. We got to cut back some of the grass, but here I have shredded up boxes. I put paper in here because that really helps as a oh gosh, how do you call it? Worms love that stuff, and it helps break down and adds organic material to break everything down. And all this stuff you see, like this cut up grass, which is now like straw and hay, it really adds to the soil. And I had to add in some potting soil over here because, as you can see, I have red dirt. And when we first moved here, when they first moved my home here, it's a mobile home, they brought truckloads of clay, and I'm going to show you some red clay, which it's all right. It brings the pH level up, which actually the soil, the pH level of your soil, has a lot to do with the growth of your plants. These are blackberries. I found these wild blackberries around my house. I dug them up. I brought them over here, and they are growing. They don't look like they're doing too well, but you know, I just moved them from their space. So yeah, they kind of died, and they're coming back a little bit. And right here, I have cucumber plants. And I tied this one up here on this little thing here because he just wants to lay on the ground. You see these tendrils? These tendrils wrap around things, and it helps hold them up. So like if this cucumber plant were to grow right here in the grass, let's say right here in the grass, it would literally take its tendrils and tie them up high up on the grass to pull itself up above the grass to get more sun. So I just thought that was amazing. And I have cardboard box cut out and put around to kind of die off the grass around it. I did this before my backyard was tilled up because I had these plants inside and they needed to hurry up and get outside. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make a spot inside. I mean, in the front yard. Anyway, so these two are cucumber plants. This is a tomato stake thingy here. You can see more boxes, but I'm going to show you something. This cucumber plant actually took itself and wrapped itself around here, and I just think how God created these plants. They're so smart. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I mean, look at that. It literally coiled itself around. Whoop, focus, focus, focus. Here we go. It literally coiled itself around, and I just think that is so beautiful. And the flowers too, whatever that is on my leaf. And honestly, I have not used anything except for neem oil on these plants, and I've only sprayed them I think once or twice. I got one bite right there. I'm expecting, well, I'm not even going to speak it into existence. But anyway, so that's a little bit of the front yard here. And then let me move over to here. I have my beautiful different color flowers. I don't know what kind they are, but they smell amazing. See, I got the deep, the purple, and then I got the kind of white. These came from my mother-in-law. And I'm telling you, this bush grew in like just a year. So it's probably going to get double this size in another year, which it was one little, let me show you what was planted into my bucket that my mother-in-law gave me. It was like the size of this. Literally, one of these. I don't know who that was, but anyways, one of those. And it has literally just massively grown. Look at that. And then my mother-in-law also, what she gave me in that potting container over there that the corn was in was these bulbs. And the flowers are red and they're pretty. This is the part of the flower that it blossomed, but he no longer is blossoming. I probably need to cut him off of there. It's really tough. There we go. And I'll just throw that into my compost pile. Let me take you up here on my front porch and show you what else I got. But before I get up there, let me walk over here to my compost pile. Excuse the music from our next door neighbor. He's a Christian preacher man. He's also a bus driver. But anyways, these plants here, and then you can see it's starting to flower right here. These are blackberries. And I don't think they look too healthy. I don't know what that is on the leaves. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe they're trying to turn to this color maybe. I don't know. I've never grown blackberries before. I'm going to have to look it up. But yeah, supposedly wherever there's a flower, there's going to be a berry. So come on, flowers. I want more berries. And there's probably about, ow, that hurt. Probably about 5 of them there. So I'm going to walk with you over here. This poor tomato plant right here, it's finally starting to flower. And I cut off these limbs over here to give it more growing power. Excuse me. More growing power. There's the little flowers. And someone told me on YouTube that if you hit the flowers, because they self-pollinate, supposedly the male part of the flower is in the back, and when you do like this, or even the vibration of a bee or something comes and vibrates the pollen down, and it makes it where you can have a tomato. This is a different variety of a tomato. This is a baby tomato, and it's going to grow really big. And right back there, well, let me take this out of there. Right back there, they were tiny. I didn't think they could make it. Those are turnips. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick these outside because they're inside, and let's just stick them outside because the turnip seeds are so small, and I ended up growing probably 100 of them. Probably could even use them as micronutrient, whatever you call them, microgreens. But anyways, going upstairs, there's some soil that I use sometimes, but these are just my gardening stuff. My husband brought this home to me. But up here, and I added fertilizer to my soil and kind of mixed it up. I need to water my babies, but these are strawberries. And my strawberries, guys, oh my goodness, have had a rough time. I grew these from seed. I'll never make that mistake again because they say that when you grow them from seed, you don't know what kind of variety you're getting, and they're not resistant. They're not resistant to what do you call it? Diseases. This is fungus stuff right here because when I had mine, where the blackberries are out there, that's where I had my strawberries, and they kept getting like these fungus on their leaves, like these little black spots. And then when I took them out of that soil and made up my own potting soil and put them in different pots like this, they have not done that, and clearly they need more water because the tips are turning brown. But this is the biggest one I have. Something came up and ate my leaf. Beautiful, look at that. Something took a big chunk out of there, so I sprayed it with some neem oil. There's a new leaf coming right there. This is the soil that I made myself. So you can see it's still kind of wet under there. And this is like the clay kind of part right there. But here, we have cucumbers, baby cucumbers. And did you know whenever you plant something, originally, we'll take these two leaves right here are closed up like this in the seed. You know how the seed is? They're closed up like this. Imagine this so tiny, a tiny little seed, but these leaves are closed up in it like that. And so when the seed will take these and it'll start to open up, and at the bottom of the seed it'll start growing a root, which later on turns into a root, and then the stem pushes up and these leaves unfold and they're really small, and then after a while it'll get its true original leaf, which honestly this says cucumber, but because cucumbers and watermelons, and look, even squash, let me show you, this is a squash plant. I know that for sure because something happened to my leaf and I don't know what, but anyways, look at how similar these plants are. Hold on, let me turn it this way so you can see. You see this is cucumber, I think, because it's in like a heart shape, or it could be even watermelon, because cucumber, watermelon, and squash are actually all in the same family, and their leaves look so much alike. So I won't know if this is a cucumber or watermelon plant until they get a little bit bigger, but from the looks of it, watermelon plants are more rigid. And honestly, it looks like I have a watermelon with a cucumber, but I planted them all at the same time, so I know for sure this is all either watermelon or cucumber. Probably watermelon. And then same thing with these over here. They're looking, well, no, these do look like cucumbers because my big leaves over there look kind of like this. But see, I'm just looking at the more rigid. Anyways, this is one of my tomato plants, and I have more seedlings inside, but you're supposed to get them adjusted to the sun so they don't die. And when they're this small and you plant them outside, like this guy, he's probably ready to go back there. And what I can do is just peel the bottom of this off, plant it in the ground, or usually peel the whole thing off and just set it in there. But I like to just peel the whole thing off and put them all the way in there. That way his roots can really expand. But yeah, this one is ready. And they say you're supposed, see, like, look, here's a seed right here on top. Look at that seed. I don't know what kind of seed that is. It could be a pumpkin seed, or it looks like squash. But yeah, the leaves are folded up inside of there, and then they unfold. Then a little stem comes from the bottom. Excuse my fingernails. I work in the garden all the time. I don't have time to do this. So anyways, let's walk to the back, y'all. And I know this is probably really boring for you, but I love gardening. Excuse my yard. It's a hot mess. In fact, I'm not even going to walk that way because I don't want y'all to see it. We got some high grass, and my husband's been working a lot here lately. And then dogs got into our burn bin, so trash got everywhere. Oh, there he is. There he is, striking up the weed eater for me. Thank you. Anyways, it's probably about to be loud here in a minute. This is our trampoline net that my son, my son messed up. I had a cucumber plant here, but he died, and I created hills. This is my cucumbers that, they're actually the same age as the cucumbers in the front, but I had them in a container longer, so they're actually smaller. But now they're in the ground. One of my leaves has turned yellow. I don't know why. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what a yellow leaf means. Too much water, maybe? From the looks of it, I don't know. But what I did is I made hills, and then I put some coir, which is a coconut hull. There's bird poop, gross. And then I put dirt on top of that, and I even put some fertilizer around. Let me tell y'all about coconut coir, or coconut hull, or whatever. That stuff is amazing. It is so amazing. I would rather use that any day than peat moss. You can take a block, like they got them at Walmart, they got them everywhere. And that stuff expands to make this awesome, moist, rich, organic material. Let me go up here because my son's up here, and my little boy's autistic, y'all, so, okay, good. He's on the tractor playing. But my little boy is autistic, so he will run off, so it's very hard for me to garden. But this is all tilled up. I'm going to have all my corn back here. I'm going to have my squash, my cucumbers, my watermelon. I got cantaloupe. I got kale. I got, what else? Oh, and I planted green beans too. My green beans and cantaloupe are still, like, they haven't even sprouted yet. So, I don't know. I wanted to start sooner, but I didn't get started. It just rained and rained and rained. So, thank goodness I didn't start sooner because it would all be dead. But this is all I have for this year, 2019. Shreveport, well, Keachah, Louisiana. And bye, y'all.